smooth sous vide pumpkin spice cheesecake. Most sous vide cheesecakes are made in little mason jars. Today we're gonna try it in a 9-inch springform pan. And on top of that, we're gonna make it pumpkin spice because it's fall.
If you're new to kind of cooking, please subscribe down below, hit the notification button. I don't know where anything is anymore, so do all of that.
So with this recipe, our goal is to make it kind of like a mix between a pumpkin pie, mix between a pumpkin pie and a cheesecake. Let's start with the crust. We're using ginger snap cookies. I think that will add a nice flavor into that. Ooh.
It really depends on how thick you guys want the crust. We want it to show, so we're gonna go a little thicker. You can get away with 1.5 cups. We're gonna go for about 3 cups. You put that in the food processor with the brown sugar. So you're looking for like a little wet sand consistency. That's how I would describe it. And so when you pick it up, it's like sand, but when you push it together, it sticks.
And you press it to the bottom of the pan.
It smells great.
Because it's all butter.
So once you have it in there, you get it nice and firm, you know. You should be able to turn it upside down, it doesn't fall out.
I was a little scared when you did that. Let's not do that.
It's like Dairy Queen. It only works right after you put it in. Don't let it melt anymore. No, but it's good. The fun part next.
It actually should be pretty simple. You essentially dump all the ingredients in the food processor and mix it. Now we put in the pumpkin spice components. Allspice, cinnamon, brown ginger. We have nutmeg.
Oh, when we were filming on a show, Confused as a Foodie, we actually went to a nutmeg farm and I bought these like fresh from the nutmeg farm. What I didn't know, like nutmeg is a fruit. I remember it was kind of bitter or sour. I think it was bitter and sour. So mace actually comes from the same fruit. And what it is, mace actually wraps around the nutmeg. Use it for coloring, you can use it kind of like saffron, cheap man saffron. So this is a seed, but actually inside is the actual nutmeg. So you will actually have to break it open. Okay, so once you break it open, then you can see the actual nutmeg. And a little bit goes a long way for nutmegs. 1/4 teaspoon, so we're just going to our microplane.
1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix for about a minute.
So with the motor running, we add the buttermilk.
Yeah, it's going violent. Whoa. It didn't like the buttermilk that much. This cream cheese, it's important to have it in room temperature and cut it in blocks so it's easier to process. Next, you put in the eggs. And then we'll mix again, but try not to mix it too much. Just make sure it's just incorporated. Pour all that into the pan.
So we've finished the easy part because it was all done in the food processor. You don't need to use a food processor. We enjoy using a food processor. After we watched Jamie Oliver, he puts everything in there and we started putting it and it was life-changing. Onions, garlic, whatever, put it in there, done. So the cheesecake, we chose a food processor.
You can do it by hand.
You can do it by hand, you can do it with the stand mixer, you can do it with the KitchenAid if you are lucky enough to have one. We don't have one. Now the fun part.
Yep.
We bought, I know you're ready. So we bought these bags. These are expandable Ziploc bags. They get much bigger. So we thought this would be our best way to get this into here and to suck it up.
I wonder if the content of the cheesecake would like and move, like the top of it.
It shouldn't.
Wouldn't it touch the top?
You know what? I don't think it will touch the top.
See, I told you it would touch. Stop. Kevin.
Let's cut it open.
Alright, full disclosure, we've never made it like this before. We've done stuff inside the mason jar, but we really want a whole cake since this is for our Thanksgiving dinner. You think you can stop in time?
Yeah.
Alright. Round 2. Stop. Not enough, right?
No.
Round 3.
Why don't I just put saran wrap on the top? We're going to wrap the top really tightly with saran wrap.
It's already touched. That's a good idea. This seems okay.
Yep.
3rd time's the charm.
Okay.
It's like really touching actually.
Should we try it again?
I don't know.
We can put a plate on top.
Huh.
You can use a plate, whatever, as long as it fits back into your sous vide. So that's how it's done. You do it with a lid. So we sucked it up. The lid keeps it from touching the top, and it's nice and sealed. The one thing that we need to do is make sure we put it on top of a rack before we drop it into the sous vide. That way water can circulate all around because that's how sous vide works. Another thing is make sure you measure your container fits your cake pan before you get started.
Yes.
Pro tip.
We have
Don't
to
forget.
change to a cooler last minute.
Cake came out of the fridge. We put it in overnight. It stopped jiggling, so that's a good sign. So it's a moment of truth.
Ooh, that was a little. Oh, okay.
Looks pretty good. Flavor of the cheese is nice. The crust is actually surprisingly still has a little crunch. I was worried that it would just be completely soggy, but you can hear, you can see, it still has a bit of crunch. I would say that I like this consistency.
The taste itself is delicious. Enjoy your pumpkin spice cheesecake.
With the rest of the whipped cream.
I don't know, what's that? Need more?